trying to get ahead.
What about in a relationship though? Like I feel like, because even if they don't have ill intent, like you don't think sometimes things are meant to be innocent, and you trying to be like transparent or honest can create conflict?
I have been in that situation, and then I've been in the receiving of that situation where you might say you meeting somebody new and you like, hey, this is the person I used to talk to, these people I used to date, it never went nowhere, but this is the extent. And a guy kind of like took that the wrong way from me sharing it, but it was like I was just trying to be honest. But then a guy that I was dating was the same way with me, and at first it would make me uncomfortable, but in the long run it made me respect him so much more because once we got around those people, it was like, well, he already told me.
Yeah, ain't nothing you can bring to me that I
don't already know.
You ain't shocking me. You ain't surprising me. I also feel like when it comes to relationships and like in that regard, I feel like not even just that, but let's say you trying to have a honest conversation, or you telling them about themselves, or you being transparent about how you feel about something you experienced with this person. I don't feel like there's a limitation in being transparent. Oh, you shouldn't. Yes, it can create conflict, but I don't feel like conflict is always bad. And I think that we always say conflict as if it's bad, but it's just like, to me, it's like sandpaper. You smoothing it out. Like, it's supposed to be rough. Everything not gonna be easy, but I think a lot of times when we get into situations where maybe we haven't experienced something before, and then we do it, and it's like, it was conflict, and we figured it out, now we know moving forward. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people try to avoid things, but it's like, no, we really should just go through it.
Yeah.
So,
and it's up to that other person's maturity level. Like, you can't handle, you know how they be like, you can't handle the truth. That's because you're immature and you're not ready to receive or deal with those uncomfortable feelings that it might bring up. But if you are mature and you're like, okay, let me work through this with you, then it's always helpful because, like you said, at the end of the day, it made a stronger bond. We worked through something together.
And I believe in knowing your personnel. I feel like when people get in relationships, everybody looks to have fun, and it's like, oh, we enjoy each other. But I feel like you really gotta get to know a person and really see how they communicate, how they respond to things, how they handle things. Because then it's like, I can learn to maneuver in a way in which I can be transparent with you and communicate it so that it's effectively you can receive it. And even if you feel some type of way, even if it hurts your feelings, whatever, the way that I know you and the way I know how to communicate to you now is like, it's out of love, so you can receive it, be hurt, but also understand that it comes from love.
Y'all ready to get this thing started?
We already started.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we here, man. Y'all got some of the conversation, man. 1% Better Show. This is our second recording of the day, so, I mean, y'all might see two different weeks.
The same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Y'all on to it. Y'all know we batch record. God damn. What's up, man? 1% Better Show. We back at it.
How you feeling? Alexander DeBlanc is here.
Mr. J Hill is here.
Janae Music is here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we got a special guest, Miss Brii Renee is here.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Renee, straight from the A in the building.
Yeah.
Okay, she got a tagline.
Atlanta is in the building.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? How you feeling?
I'm feeling so good. I love the setup. Thank y'all for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
So you from Atlanta?
Born and raised, 3-4 generations in, baby.
Period.
3-4. What's the biggest difference in Atlanta, you think? That you see now, yeah.
And I feel like it's way more transplants. Like, I feel like Atlanta has grown into an international city.
For sure.
It's not just Atlanta feel good home no more. It's an international city, which is beautiful because we get to mingle and mix with so many other people. And I always feel like it's been a place where Black people can come and thrive and be successful at whatever it is. So one thing that's always been true, even growing up, is I never had a doubt that I could be anything I wanted to be in this world. I saw rappers, athletes, doctor. My dentist has always been Black. Like, so it's always been a place of inspiration for Black people. Like, it is the Black Mecca of the United States.
Do you
I know DC, it's Chocolate City, so don't you
ever been to DC?
No, I haven't. But I hear great things. I think that they are sister or brother city, whatever.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like DC is definitely like Black excellence as well.
I hear
but
that.
I think it's a different way though. I feel like, and I said this before, I feel like DC is a Black excellence where you can go there, you know that you belong in a corporate space.
I was gonna say I think DC is more professional Black, and I think Atlanta is more cultural. Like, so you got artsy. Well, we have professional, like I said, my dentists, my lawyers. We have entrepreneurs here, but then we have music, we have arts, we have sneaker clothes. Like, you can be like anything.
Did you ever feel like people were coming in and trying to take your spot?
In Atlanta?
Yeah. Nah, you ain't think like too many transparents? Like, man, we got enough talented people here. We don't need y'all here.
No, I mean, besides the traffic and everybody complaining. Yeah, like if you gonna come here and complain about our city, then I'm like, you can leave because ain't nobody asked you to come here. But no, I feel like what Atlanta has, and even the history that we've been built on, all the way back to the civil rights movement, like we have been built on collaboration. So the more black people that's doing it, the better, because now I got a Jay Hill, I got an assist, like, you know what I mean? We just work together better.
Okay.
I feel like the more the better.
I love that. Come
Oh,
on,
man.
that's
So how was everybody feeling? Did we have a new week? We've been recording so much. Has it been a new week?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So I don't have to ask how was your week?
No. I don't even think that episode dropped yet.
Oh shit, goddamn. Brie, how was your week, man?
It's been good, up and down, but really good.
Yo, you was hosting Podcast Summit.
Yeah.
How was that?
So fun. I've left feeling like inspired. Even though I was the host and I was bringing everybody up, I didn't think I would get to take in so much like an actual person that went, but I took in so much more information just from the back, listening to people having conversations backstage and just getting the gems. I was like, oh, I'm ready, because at first I just started my podcast, Better with Brii Renee.
Yeah.
It started dropping in July.
Nice.
And I was like on the fence, like I'm gonna do seasons. I'm only gonna do like 10 episodes, take a break. After podcast, I was like, no, bro.
I might have to ramp it up some. I might have to do twice a week.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And so yeah, I left feeling way more inspired.
Yo, what happened with the podcast with your moms?
Mommy and Me. So I'm actually getting ready to drop. I don't know when this is going to drop, but the episode next week of my podcast, we're talking a little bit about her situation. My mom is in prison right now.
I thought I heard about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she got arrested from her accountant filed a PPP loan for her businesses.
Are you serious?
My mom got awarded $7 million. She gave every dollar back plus interest in a matter of 3 weeks of having it, because she didn't need the money. She was like, I don't need this. Y'all can have this. And the accountant was moving funny, so she was like, something ain't right. Gave all the money back. They arrested my mom. Gave my mom 7 years. My mother was a public defender of the city of Atlanta, a city attorney. She has all this community service she has served, everything. It's like this crazy story that only she can tell. So she's been in prison now for 2 years.
Wait, what? It's been 2 years since y'all dropped the episode?
2 years.
Wow.
Yes. And they just, it was like, you hear about racism, you hear about the court and the judicial system, and you think it's like kind of outdated or it's only for murderers or drug dealers. But they even used the podcast against her in court. And the podcast was all about family. And so for a while, it took me, it silenced me. It made me feel like, oh, I'm scared to even, because they tried to flip it. I don't know if y'all seen this clip that went viral. We were talking about gentle parenting.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she run as a parent, as a black mom. And I'm sure most of us with black moms would be like, you do what I say do or else in my household. So they played that clip in court like, oh, she's a kingpin. Like, this lady with no criminal record, like, because she was saying, I'm talking about your children in the household. Like, I wouldn't I wouldn't tell nobody child to run their house. But it was like, this has been like the longest. So just this week dealing with lawyer stuff and court stuff, it's been the longest journey. But I know I'm a servant of God. I know that like this test is going to turn into a testimony for us. And when she come out, it's going to be even bigger. But we dive a little bit deeper into that in this week's episode of Better with Brii Renee. That's about to drop on Wednesday.
Wait, hold up. So she been in jail for 2 years.
2 years.
How old is your mom?
December will be 2 years. My mother is in her 60s. She is 63 years old, y'all. Never had a criminal record at all.
That's insane.
Served the government. Like, retired from serving the government. A public defender and a police officer. Retired from both of those. And they gave her 7.5 years for money she does not owe.
How's she taking it though? Like, it seemed like you just so like in just good spirits. Like,
Yeah.
I am now.
2 years later, yeah.
It's been 2 years that it took. You know what I'm saying? Now I just refuse to let the system beat me down. And I feel like that's what they try to do. They try to silence you. They try to, take everything we work for. This is somebody, my mother, who built a construction company, working in a white boy in industry where minorities don't normally take over. She took over that industry after she retired. and was getting contracts for millions of dollars working with different municipalities, the Cobb County. She worked up in D.C., in Florida, doing construction, like laying I call it the shit business, because they basically lay the pipes under the ground but these are multi-million-dollar So I feel like some of that was part of that too. Like, who this black woman is coming in here getting all these these million-dollar contracts. No, we got to figure out a way to get her out. And I feel like they try to break us down by any means necessary, and I just refuse. We all could wake up every day and find something that's going to take our joy and steal our drive or our ambition, but I'm just not going to let them. I'm not. I let them do that for I moped and was sad and was silenced, then drop an episode, wasn't speaking, wasn't on nobody platform for over a year. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. This is my God-given gift and talent, and I'm not going to let them I'm not going to give it to them.
Yo, what, so, because PPP loans, like, it's legal, but we do it illegal. Like, how was that? How was it? Can you explain how was it illegal versus, like, I guess, the legal way?
Again, we all file taxes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. When you file your tax, you give your information to your tax preparer and you expect them to fill out the stuff correctly.
My nigga did me wrong too. I owe like $5 bands.
You don't even, but who know how to, I don't know how to double check what you did because I didn't go to tax school.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because this also what her accountant, who had also been her lawyer and a good friend of hers for years, this lady took the stand and said she did not only my mother's application, but several applications in her own businesses and her husband and her son name without them knowing. She also was awarded $7+ million in PPP loans. And basically when they do, I guess she falsified the numbers to make it like my mom had these businesses, but just inflated what she needed or how many employees she had and stuff, inflated those numbers. But she had the correct, my mom gave her all her correct information. And DocuSigned it from her house, the lady's house, which was all traced back in court through the IP address. And this lady took the stand, but because she took a plea, she kind of they put it on my mom because the lady plead out.
Okay.
And my mom was like, I'm not taking a plea deal because I'm not admitting shit. And that's another thing that
I was about to say that.
They get us like that.
Yep.
As black people in this country, they make it seem like it's our constitutional right to go for a fair trial. But if you fight them, they will try to throw the book at you.
Yeah.
And if I had not had, shout out to my friends Ernestine Morrison and Leticia Gardner, they came to court with me. And sat in there the day that my mom got sentenced. The judge said out his mouth, had they not been there, nobody would believe me. The judge said out his mouth, a white man, we are going to make an example out of you. We're going to prove that people cannot do this or people cannot get away with this. That's why he gave her 7 years. I was like, this 63-year-old woman who at the time 61 and never did nothing wrong. And then even the judge said, in the court, he was like, I've never seen a courtroom full of so many people from the community here to speak on your behalf. He was like, so I give you kudos for that. He took off a few months for that, for a good character, because the president of Delta Sigma Theta came in. Like people who I had never even known about my mother had helped. They spoke. Like the lady of the president of Delta Sigma Theta, she stood up and she said, every year, this woman adopted several families, not one, not two, but 5 to 10 families every Christmas so that these children wouldn't go without. I never even knew my mama was doing that. My mom had employees that worked for her construction company. They came in and said, this lady gave me somewhere to stay and a car to drive just so I could get to work. So she could pay them to work. So it was like, it disheartened me, and I took some time away because I was so mad and angry even at God. Like, what are we being good people for? If none of it, why am I out here being a good person or trying to give back or being polite and being nice? Because what difference do it make? But I remember God telling me, you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for me. And at the end of the day, justice will be served, whether you get to see it or not, or whether it look like it or not, or no matter how long it takes, it is going to be served. So I'm just faithful. I just been leaning on the word of God, and I'm faithful.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that. And it's crazy about the plea thing, because like it's people out there who don't know nothing about court system, and they make jokes about niggas taking pleas, and like y'all have no idea, but it's like the system, it's like they set you up. Because like if you don't take a plea, they give you crazy amount of numbers that they give like
Like a
years.
murderer.
Yeah,
Like-
bro, it's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, and then when you take a plea, you pleading guilty almost just to get lighter sentence, but you still got that stain on your record. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, y'all
Yeah.
niggas is ridiculous, bro. That shit is crazy.
It's a
bro.
lose-lose situation.
It's
and
a
and
lose-lose
it's
situation,
structurally
bro.
created so that, especially for our community, for us to lose in that. And I think that, I mean, thank God you have people that know the knowledge and we're able to go and to see that. But that's a majority of people within our community, and they're separating families. We were talking about it last episode. They have systematically put things in place to destroy the black family structure. And especially if she's somebody that's like a pillar in her community, that's more of a reason, because it's like, okay, you have so many people that are looking up to you. Now we're
Absolutely.
showing that we're not having any favoritism, but if I'm right, I'm right. And I mean, I think I told you the story. I had to fight a similar situation with that where they knew they was wrong. And even when you have the paperwork, I had letters from the DA. I still have them to this day. It took me to go to a state legislator to write a letter to the MVA to be able to say, like, no, he was wrongfully convicted. Wrongfully accused and things of that nature. And even at that point, like, I remember standing before these white folks and I was like, yo, like, this is exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
What she's saying. And she was like, we don't recognize this. You need to get a letter from the cop. And I was just like, the district attorney has this document, signed this, and is saying that they were wrong. And she's like, no, you have to still jump through another hoop. So I
And
can.
that's the thing. They try to tire us out.
And
They
that's
make
it.
you jump through so many hoops and go through so many and call this person to do this, or you got to go through this process and that, because they want to wear us out, because a lot of us don't have the stamina.
Or the money. Like, niggas do that.
Or the
Don't
money.
have the money.
Yeah, when it come to like suing people, like people
Yep.
do that, they hold you in court for years and years and years. You gotta pay these attorney fees, bro. That's ridiculous.
You know, it's a
Crazy.
great example of that.
What?
Like the Tulsa race massacre.
Yeah.
The last person, like the last descendants, they just kept on pushing back the court cases. They ultimately died. You know what I'm saying? Because they were talking about like
That's
reparations for that,
insane.
but they
Yeah.
pushed it back long enough to the point that the last survivor of the massacre just recently passed away. I think last year or 2 years ago.
That shit
Yeah.
And that's what
nasty,
they do.
bro.
It's a
Dragging
sick
it
system.
out. Yeah.
Keep talking about the system.
That shit is disgusting, bro.
It's a sick
I'm
system.
sorry to hear that, man. Prayers up to you and your family.
For
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
Damn, what made you start the Mommy and Me podcast?
I felt like we were just like every other black family. Everybody got a black mama that say what she want to say, you know what I mean? And these were some of the conversations that I wanted us to have, not only together, but in a whole. Like, I remember we would go live during the pandemic. That's how it really started. During the pandemic, everybody was locked down. We would just get on Instagram live. And at first I was talking to her about entrepreneurship, because so many of my friends used to be like, I never met a woman who built empires without a man or without having somebody being attached to somebody else, or just off of her knowledge. Like, she's built every house I lived in growing up, like with her hands and a couple Mexicans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she's just been gifted and always hustled. This is while she worked as a public defender, while she worked as a city attorney. So I just get my ambition and my drive from her, and all my friends always would talk to her and get advice from her. So I was like, let's go on live. So we would go on live during the pandemic. That was a hit. And everybody's like, you need to go back to doing them talks with your mama. We love hearing her talk. We love y'all dynamic. And so then it grew from just entrepreneurship to family, because I realized generational wealth isn't just about money. It's about breaking those curses and the things that are, you know what I mean, are way past our finances. It's about eating better. It's about better relationships. It's about a lot of the traumas that we deal with that we don't get to talk about. And I remember, like, even just sitting down talking to my grandma, some of the stuff I would ask her, she wouldn't want to talk about it. She didn't want to, because of the trauma or stuff she had been through. So I was like, let's have these conversations and record it, and hopefully it not only heals our family and our generation, but maybe it'll help other people. And so we grew that way.
Yo, this is random. What kind of cameras y'all using over there?
The same. It ain't nothing crazy. The same. I can't even tell you. It's Canon.
Y'all motherfuckers shit look good. That's fire over that
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was just looking at it.
That
That's
shit
very
look
crispy,
good.
boy. I
That's
ain't even
Thank
gonna lie to
you.
you.
But nah,
Mommy and Me was shot by BJ. So shout out to BJ. That was our videographer. And he's really good with lighting and
Okay.
everything. So he would take his time to set it up. So
is that
he
the comedian guy? Or
No, BJ
Okay.
is he's a camera, he's a videographer. I've
Okay.
worked with him and other people have used him too.
All right,
so
all
I'll
right,
give
all
y'all
right.
his info. But
Yo, one thing I always hear about when it comes to successful women is men are intimidated because I guess they can't control them. I want to ask y'all, both of y'all, a different question though. Seeing the example of like your mom's being independent, you growing up with your pops and stuff like that, I want to shift it. I don't want to make a blame situation, but like, what are some things that you learned that you kind of learned that was a detriment to your dating career, or like that worked against you? Because like your mom's was so independent. I'm assuming that like it kind of passed down to you, but I'm pretty sure everything didn't work in the best of ways. So like, what were some things that you was like, man, I probably should unlearn that or apply it differently?
Yeah. A lot. I had to grieve that too. I was kind of mad at her because she always forced or beat into my head, it doesn't matter what you look like. Being pretty don't mean shit. Like, you gotta get an education, which is true. We know being cute ain't enough, but it does mean something. And it does. And you can't ignore pretty privilege. You can't ignore the attention. You can't. So when I got older and started to get so much attention, I wasn't prepared because I didn't realize at that time, especially because my mom is gay, so we didn't really talk about dating men at all. It was just about survival, education, being smart and stuff like that. But being beautiful, I attracted way more men than that actually valued me. So it was like she didn't really teach me that part. And then when it came to like dating men, I had to learn how to need a man because I would be like, well, he ain't moving fast enough, so I'm gonna just do it. Or it ain't getting, but it's like with men, you kind of gotta play a little damsel in distress a little bit.
We talking like, bro, like, I feel like girls got the cheat code. They just not smart enough to use it. Some girls don't. Be like, yo, y'all got the cheat code. Y'all just don't be smart enough to use it.
Be smart enough to be dumb.
Exactly. All you gotta do is, bro, like, you act like you need a nigga, boy. You get anything you want.
Just play the game.
Do it just like, you feel me? Just play a little song. Like, you know what? Boy.
Babe, please. Like, I don't know how to. I didn't learn that.
Okay.
I didn't learn that. And I'm having to learn that now because when you want to date an alpha man or a man that is ambitious and smart and has this, you still have to make him feel needed.
Yeah.
And if you just are always so quick to just do it, he feel like you don't need him for nothing. So I'm learning that to not always, some stuff, let him take the lead.
Yeah.
And wait, even if it ain't on my time.
What about
That's the
you?
hard part.
Miss Independent.
That is not true.
Miss not need a nigga for shit.
I've never said that. That's crazy. I literally rely on you regularly, Jay. What you talking about?
Bark like you. Don't bark for shit, nigga.
No, stop. Actually, all right, so I feel like that's a new development for me. I'm not going to lie. So granted, yes, I was raised by my dad. A lot. I spent a lot of time with my dad, but he didn't have any boys when I was born, so he said that I was gonna be his son. So I've grown up to be very aggressive. I feel like in a way I do understand like my aggression sometimes is to my detriment in a way where it's like I'm masculine, but it does also play in a positive way because I'm a homeboy for real, and so niggas fuck with me.
I have that too.
Yeah, but I will say, so one thing that I feel like
that's it can be.
Yeah,
it can be with dating
for sure. But one thing that I will say regarding like, I feel like when it comes to like my upbringing and how it ties into my dating and how it was a detriment to me, in which I have switched and I'm trying to find a balance in. So, like I said, I grew up under my dad, and a lot of at first him and my mom were married. And then when they split, it was like, one parent, you're going to talk negative, the other parent going to talk negative. It was very much a lot of that. So a lot of what my dad taught me, remember I was saying, like, a lot of times the opposite parent teaches, the mom teaches the daughter the woman that she wants her to be, that she is. And then the dad will teach you to be the woman that they want you to be. Or that they want. So I felt like my dad taught me to be the woman that he wanted. Like what he wanted my mom to be. You know what I mean? So my mom and I are opposite in a lot of ways. And so I feel like as I grew up, I learned a lot about like catering to and taking care of and prioritizing men.
Man, okay.
And so I felt like, in my last relationship, which was a very long time ago, I haven't been in a relationship since, because I felt like I prioritized and I made that whole relationship so important to me. That person was so important to me. Like I did any and everything for that person. Like literally, I would go without just for that person to be good. And I felt like that was a detriment to me because I took big L's in that space.
So
and
would you not
like,
do that again?
I would not.
Damn.
I think you
and
gotta
that's-
learn the balance.
But that's what I said. That's what I said before I started. Like, I'm trying to learn the balance. I've gotten to a space now where I haven't, which is why also, I'm not gonna say that I wouldn't do it again. I think that for me, my fear is that I am gonna do it again. And so because I feel like I'm afraid that, because it's embedded. I've grown up, that's how I've been. My fear is that I'm going to do it again and I'm going to take a huge L again. So when it comes to relationships, that's why I haven't been in one since, because I'm like, you got to show and prove. It's got to make sense. Everything got to be aligned. Like, now I'm strict about it because it's like, I know when I get in here, I know what I'm going to do.
You know what?
I was gonna say, but you know what you just kind of broke down was when we have that conversation about cycles versus seasons. You know what I mean? I think you identified the patterns. It's like, okay, this is the role that I play in the patterns that has been happening in my life, and how do I correct that? I think also it's just a matter of finding that balance, though, like you were just describing, because you talk about this all the time. If I change who I am because of a circumstance that I've gone through or something in that capacity, I let the devil win. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're going outside of your character. That's who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that nurturing aspect and things of that nature, even though you can't, you have the duality. You have the aggression at times, but you do have that ability to cater to somebody. So you shouldn't change that because of the circumstance that you've gone through.
I wanted to ask
that?
y'all a question.
Can I ask something right before you ask it?
Yeah.
To what you were saying, don't change it because you didn't do it. It's not that you were wrong. You just were doing it for the wrong person.
But somebody told me that, y'all, and then I ended up in another situation, like maybe like a couple years later, and I took a big L again.
And you gonna keep taking the L till it's that person that it's supposed to be for.
Oh my God, I just feel like I'm just
A
tired.
male therapist told me that, and it helped me so much because I was in a relationship in my early 20s where I held him down, and I was, he was living with me while he was chasing his dreams, and he became super successful, and then it didn't pay out for me, and I'm like, damn, I'll never hold a nigga down again.
But
And then he's like, but you gotta find the right one, because the right one would appreciate
But
that.
wait though, that's so not.
Fair? What you going to say?
I don't know how to say it. I want to say fair. So, when you have a long-term relationship, right? We all can agree that like sometimes we grow apart in the relationship and we have resentment to each other, right? I see so many times women talk about holding a guy down that's chasing his dream, and then the guy becomes successful, and it's like it don't pan out for them how they would think that it should pan out.
Right.
Again, this isn't a platform to like put each other on each other, right? But I don't think women understand how uncomfortable they make situations in those points of when they think they holding us down, right? Like we're chasing our dream, and like you're making it harder for us. And I'm not saying this is you
My
and any
situation,
other,
right.
But
Just-
a lot of the times it be that like you with somebody for years, and like I'm just not leaving either, because one, I'm a man, I'm trying to like push through it as well. But really, like you're holding me down, you're making it harder for me, you're complaining a lot, like you're not really making my job easier.
How do we do that? What does that look like?
And what does look like fixing it look like? Are you not communicating it throughout the process? Like you just decided you got on my nerves too much at this point. Now I'm
Nah, it
done?
just sometimes it breaks up. But like, I mean, sometimes you break up. But what I will say is like, it looks like it's unfair for women for sure, right?
Overly complaining.
That, but also loving yourself, right? So I understand that like a lot of situations is like an imbalance. So like men might cheat, women might take them back, and she like, I'm holding this man down, like he didn't did me dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I need women to understand that y'all have to I don't want to call it pussy power, but it's real, right?
Yeah.
But you also gotta love yourself enough to like not go through that. You know what I'm saying? I know it might sound easier said than done, but when things happen and it's a deal breaker, you gotta allow it to be a deal breaker.
Yeah, you gotta know what
You
those
know what I'm saying?
are.
A lot
I
of times
agree.
we hold on to things, we say things that deal breakers and it's not. We really just holding on to
No,
something.
like cheating is a deal breaker for me. I tell people, I be like, I've never been cheated on, and if I've ever been cheated on, I had no clue, because if I know and I let people know up front, I ain't. That's what I'm not dealing with.
Yeah.
I'm not. But so holding a man down to me is not.
Yeah.
That don't
Not
make
But
being
some
cheated
women
on.
will say,
Yeah, that's not it.
Some women will say that's a deal breaker. It happens, and because they think they love this guy so much, it's like,
Nah.
I'll take him back.
Nah.
And then resentment, that's how resentment is built, because we hold on
Agreed.
to these deal breakers. We're like, bro, if that was your deal breaker, you should have loved yourself
Leave,
more to
yeah,
leave. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But even in that, but like when you were saying earlier, I'm not even thinking about like the worst of the, like to me cheating is like the worst
The
of the
worst,
worst.
yeah.
Like, I'm not even talking about I think even in like I'm holding you down, like
I meant financially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm paying the bills.
Yeah.
You either living with me or I'm helping and I'm doing the grinding or I'm creating a level of comfort for you to chase your dreams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even in those situations, though, again, I can't speak for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in a situation and I was splitting bills, but I told my ex like, yo, like, you make me feel it at that time. Like a lot of times, like people do things, but they don't understand the
You're not
action
doing
that
it
they.
from a loving
You get what I'm saying?
space.
Or you might be doing it from a love, because I want to give everybody grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to be understanding. But it like we are human and we mature at different ages and in different levels. But what happens is like you're doing something for somebody, but you let them know that you're doing it for them, that you don't have to do that, or you talk shit about them. It's like I'm splitting the bills with you, like I shouldn't even be doing this, like you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
bro, I feel that.
I think it depends on like situations, but I feel like that's where the conversation and communication comes in. And I feel like each situation is different, of course. I don't feel like that was my situation, and I don't like to paint a picture of like I'm perfect or nothing like that, because I am flawed. Like I'm aggressive, and I think that was one thing that we had, like a clashing that we had in my space. But outside of that, like when it came to like communicating and handling things, because I pour so much into a person and because I value the relationship so much, I'm on my motherfucking P's and Q's. Like I be like, what I need to do. I'm such a caterer that to me it's not. You know what I think for me it was even a year or so, maybe 2 years later, I'm then having a conversation with this person and they're like, you were right. It was me. We could have fixed it. I fucked up. And I was being selfish.
But a lot of times, I'm not saying, but I don't know. I do want to hear some accountability from the woman's perspective.
I just
because
gave some.
no, you said aggressive.
I
You said you're
was. We
aggressive.
clashed.
I'm
I
saying in
was.
the
We-
moment of holding somebody down, paying bills, all that,
Right.
right? Are you? Because I understand why, but I still want to hear a woman's perspective. Like I could understand why a woman would be more aggressive or upset. Like, yo, I'm paying these bills, you ain't
No,
doing shit.
but that's not why I was aggressive, and that's not. I wasn't aggressive in that way. Because honestly, I'm not gonna hold you. I willingly was like,
I love you and I believe in you.
yeah, I willingly was like, we were long distance that one. I was willingly said, come live with me. I'm gonna help you. Like this is where you need
So
to
you
be.
didn't make them feel low in no moments.
Nah, definitely not about that.
What
I
about
was about to
you?
say he also didn't know how to cook. I cooked every
What about
meal.
you?
Like
I was gonna say for me, what made me have some of those aggressive moments, that's why I could take some accountability. I did have those moments because I was working 2 jobs and it started out with me doing it out of love, right? But then I'm working 2 jobs and I come home and the house a mess. So now you want me to cook and clean and work 2 jobs. It's like, well, damn, you not gonna do nothing. You here all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna help me none. And then it's like, I'm letting you know my family giving me so much slack because they like, at the time I bought my first house and before I graduated college, and they like, you letting a nigga move up in the house with you and he can't pay the bill. So it's like, I'm already fighting that pressure. And then you can't even make it where I'm excited to come home. And now you tripping on, I was waitressing at the time. So then it was you tripping on me about what I'm wearing to work and how I gotta be. So I'm like, I understand. But
Yeah,
the
I
accountability
get it,
is
yeah.
I get as a man why you wouldn't want me. Now that I'm
Yeah.
grown, I get
Yeah.
why that's a lot. But I felt like, well, how you gonna complain about this? And this is how I'm
This
paying
how
the
I'm paying the
bills.
bills.
You ain't even helping me.
But-
so that's where my aggression intention came
I was about
in.
to say, but you did. It's kind of like you created the space for yourself to have them problems. I don't feel like mine was like that.
Ooh,
I'm not
I
gonna
probably
lie.
did.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't. Mine was not. This is the thing. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Show me I'm wrong. All the things. But I'm so serious when I say that shit was. It wasn't me, and I dead ass was done wrong. Like, and I ain't been in a relationship since. I'm so serious. Like, if y'all gonna make me cry. Cause I honestly, I feel like, you know, like one day you just be like, I'm over it, I don't care. And I've moved past it, but I know, like, I'm always that person that's like, okay, what could I have done differently, or reflecting in a way. And I feel like a lot of times you try to find reasoning as to like, what could I have done differently? What did I do wrong? You know, trying to find that throughout the space, because it's like, it's something I did. And the nigga couldn't give me one. He couldn't say it. And
Yeah,
he was
nah.
just like, no, it was me.
I remember I was splitting $900 rent. And
That ain't
like,
bad.
I know.
Yeah, no,
We
I
did
know.
too.
Don't tell. I did too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I remember it was $900, right? But like, I just remember like that being thrown in my face, and I remember like how that felt. And then when I got up, right, I'm kicking out, I mean, tens of thousands of dollars every month, dolo. And it's like, you get those feelings of like, bro, like, I can easily treat you how you treated me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say you really gotta be careful how you treat people, because like you never know when a nigga come up and like, but I do understand, because I had to learn when it comes to the 50-50, because we see these conversations, but we don't really understand what they do to the household, right? Because like we all sin, we all engage in this content. And I never forget, like, my woman at the time, like, almost like, yeah, because da-da-da. And what she was saying was right. It was just the way she was going about it. Like, I remember her explaining, like, she gotta work, right? Pay 50% of the bills, but also clean. And that's when I understood, like, okay, maybe that's not 50-50. Maybe she is doing most of it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the issue, because I understand that. It was how you make somebody feel in those moments.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And I don't even speak on that too often, but like I'll never forget those times, because like, I'm like, damn, like, it really felt like I was low. You get what I'm trying to say?